welcome to another episode of Shrewsbury Soccer Training. Today we'll be working on a fullback and outside mid drill that works on being able to cross the ball into the box from two different locations on the field. The first one would be at midline. The other one will be at the far corners, both the left and right side of the field. So this really works on your ability to dribble forward and to place the ball at a great distance in the air, and then again at a different location after going through an obstacle to reach the location. So it really forces you to focus on touches as well as really paying attention to how far you need to send the ball and where your players are at. So this can be done with one or two players. If you do it with two, it's a little easier because now you have someone who can catch the ball instead of having you chase after it, and also gives you a better idea of how to place the ball on the target of a person instead of just trying to hit a cone from a far distance. But either way is effective and will help you in getting used to moving the ball down your line and hitting that location in the box. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so that training exercise is actually really beneficial because what it really focuses on is being able to send the ball off the dribble at the halfway mark, halfway line, and to hit the same point as if you were sending the ball at the corner point, with varying degrees of difficulty. So the first one's kind of just a simple dribble. As the training progresses, I start to implement the skill move that you're using at the poles there at the halfway. So you do, like, I call it the half step over, you can call it the half scissor, whatever you want to call it. That into a cross at the half, going through doing double scissors or doing the full step over through the poles, and then working your way down to the corner and sending it from there. The more you put into this and the more complex you make it, the more game-like you will make, you'll pretty much, create it to be as you progress through if you're working on your own. This can be done by yourself, it can be done with a partner. It doesn't really matter, it just depends on how much you feel like chasing the soccer ball. But at the end of the day, it's a very simple and very effective way of learning how to move the ball down the field, pushing the ball out for success, and making sure that you can flow behind the ball, and making sure that you don't have too many steps between the initial step to the ball and then sending it. A lot of times I notice that players will cut inside, have to take a couple of steps to adjust, and then cross it. Whenever you go to cross the ball, it should be touch out, step, cross. 3 touches at most. Ideally 2 touches is basically the step and then the cross. So it's very important to get into the habit of trying to limit as many steps it takes to get the planted foot down and the contact with the ball. So what we'll be going through now is kind of questions. I've had some questions of people asking me, Coach, what can I do with this, or whatever? And basically what I want to do is kind of go through those questions right now. So the first question is, so I've played football for nearly a year now at the club level. I know I'm better than the people at my club as I always train harder than base blah blah blah. But I've never the confidence to show them to do it in the games. The difference between a good player and a one that thinks he's better is confidence. You got to be confident on the ball. You don't have to have the most skill. You don't have to be able to do the most skill works. You don't have to be able to do all these fancy tricks and stuff on the field to be a good player. But whenever it comes to being a really truly good player, one of the most important things you have to remember is you have to be confident behind the ball. If you're not confident behind the ball, you'll be easy to read because they'll be able to see your weaknesses. You'll be less likely to really show, hey, I'm someone that should be taken seriously. And if you're not being able to take confident touches behind the ball, you're always going to be a step behind all of your other teammates. So being confident behind the ball, it kind of comes with experience, but it also comes with the understanding that you're going to make mistakes, but you can always fix them in the end. So you can't always just let those mistakes get in the way or be afraid to make mistakes, because making mistakes is part of the game. So if you can't be confident in making mistakes, then it's going to be very difficult to show that you're better than them. All right, so the next one is, as a coach, what do you look for in a defender on the field? Defenders, I really look for someone who has the ability to control the defense. I like to see someone who can receive the ball from the air, control it to the ground, and effectively move it to space. Typically, whenever I'm starting with a new defender, I want to see them be able to settle the ball and then being able to distribute it off to the line. As they become a little more advanced and are able to read the field better, I then want to be able to see my defender taking the ball, receiving it to the ground, looking to the middle, and then looking to the outside, so that they get a sense, where's open space for my players and how can I move the ball downfield without having to just have to deal with pressure immediately. Because what you want to do is control the ball as a defender, and then you want to be able to move forward when you know that pressure isn't going to just come straight back to you. That's why whenever you get stuck into that, the kickball game where you just kick the ball down the field and hope for the best, and then you're like, oh my God, the pressure's coming right back down the field. You have to find a way to really kill that. You don't want to have pressure after pressure after pressure. You want to be able to receive the ball on defense from the other team, and then just kill the momentum downfield, build your momentum, and then push forward. You don't want to just kill it, send it, and then they just rebuild from the back, and it's just a repeat. So be able to receive the ball from the ground or from the air, control it, and distribute it. But the other important aspect is, how well do you communicate with your team in order to achieve these goals, or to basically minimize or to slow or stop the momentum from the other team as a collective whole in the back, not just a single person. So defense is very important at stopping momentum and then being able to move the ball a little bit in the back to kill the momentum of the opponent, and then build your own momentum to move downfield. But mostly I want to see someone who has good managerial skills, communication, and the ability to control the field and space. Alright, so the next one is, can you give me tackling tips? I'm not the best at it. So tackling does come from a sense of understanding, what do I need to do in order to achieve the goal of stealing the ball. A lot of times players will have these steps. They'll get into a rhythm, which will be, for example, short, short, long, short, short, long, and that's their rhythm. They're able to dribble and control the ball very well. So they'll have two controlled short touches and then a little bit of an out of control far touch that allows them to move faster down the field. You want to look for that longer touch. If you are having trouble finding it, or they're just constantly just small touches and they're really proficient at keeping it close, then you don't have to tackle someone in order to win the ball. Being able to tackle someone can mean being able to divert them in a different direction. So don't be too concerned with always having to steal the ball. Be more focused on how can you slow them down and tackle the space, not the person. So tackle space, control space, and make sure that you're able to push them away from the goal, or to put them into a position where they stop their momentum and have to reset. And usually at the reset, they'll make a mistake and allow you the opportunity to step in, steal the ball, or they'll just be able to send the ball straight back to you, which is my favorite, where they make the mistake and all you have to do is simply take it from them. You don't always have to forcibly take it from them. That's where stabbing comes in, and that's bad. You don't want to stab at the ball because you're too anxious to take it from them, and in your anxiety, you just jumped at the opportunity and got beat. Don't stab. Control the space, tackle the space, tackle the person if you realize that they're not paying attention, if their head's not up. That's always a good indicator that you'll be able to go in and take the ball, because they're focusing on reading blade grasses, not really reading the person. Another thing you can do is just make sure that you don't overcommit. So manage your space well. All right, so for the last one, hi coach. Do you have any recommendations for workouts? I do. For athletes, I recommend, for soccer athletes mostly, do body weight work. You can do some weighted work with actual weights, but you really want to make sure that you're including a lot of cardio into your workouts, because we're not muscle building. We're not trying to become the next Mr. Universe. We're trying to build up strength, endurance, and the ability to run long distances, but also have the strength to body someone off the ball if we need to. So body weight's great. I personally prefer doing HIIT workouts, cardio heavy workouts with a little bit of body weight and calisthenics, and and being able to do stairs, toe taps in between, and all of these things are great workouts because they build leg muscle. They really focus on building endurance and building that, the natural strength, and being able to work on like a field, let's say a grass field, after it rained or something, or you just have a field that's really thick with grass. Going out there and working out in that, training in that, that's going to help you really improve tremendously as a player, and you don't even need to pay for anything other than the equipment that you normally use for soccer. So I'm a big proponent of how can I train and build muscle without spending a lot of money on all of these fancy equipment, because all you need is a soccer ball, cleats, and a field. That's it. And if you look around, more times than not, you'll be able to find a decent field that you can use for free. So I hope that helps, because I know it is difficult to really build up and make a good workout, but as long as you have a schedule and you have a game plan before you go out there, it's a lot easier to really prepare yourself for what you need to do and what you need to get done. So yeah, and a lot of times these are full body workouts. If you feel like you need to do more upper body workouts, push-ups, you can sometimes find a goal. This one's kind of frowned upon, but you can do pull-ups on the goalpost, or you can go to a park that has like a child's play area and do pull-ups on that, if there's no kids there, of course, and really just go out there and get into nature and just go for runs and really interact with outside. So I hope this works. I hope this helps, and yeah. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I got this beautiful new camera. I want to give a nice shout out to Canon. Even though trying to find this Rebel T5i was honestly one of the hardest things I've done, thank God for Facebook Marketplace, but I have to tell you guys, this camera is just absolutely beautiful. If you want to get a good camera that you can film and take great photos with, try to find one of these Rebels, the T5i or higher. They are just phenomenal, and I am so excited to be using this camera. But yeah, so definitely happy. I feel a little more comfortable with these YouTube videos. They're definitely becoming to be a little more enjoyable than doing the TikToks. But I will continue to keep doing TikTok, of course, because they're easy short videos, and I can do a lot on there. But these YouTube videos, they definitely allow me to really express myself so much more. And I'm getting even more and more comfortable with Filmora. So yeah, guys, if you have seen my videos in the past, if you haven't subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. That helps me out tremendously, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers or subscribers. Subscribers are on YouTube now. Yeah, and if you want to send me some of your film, I'm looking for bloopers. Yeah, send me some of your funny bloopers so I can, we can have a good laugh at, some funny mistakes and stuff that you've made on the pitch, because that's the thing that I want people to remember, is that when you play soccer, you play sports, you have to smile. That's why I love smiling. My wife's like, you smile too much. Your smile is too big. Because I love everything that I do. You have to enjoy what you're doing. And sometimes you do things that you don't like, but as long as you get to do the things you do, you should always make sure to smile. So I want to leave you guys with one little thing. When you're on the pitch, during these hard times of COVID, you want to make sure that you smile and that you're happy. Even with the mask on, you have to smile, because whether they see it or not, they know if you're happy out there, and they know when you're not. Try to keep smiling and stay safe, guys. Looking forward to the next video. See you guys then.